If we look at the sales role in particular, it takes energy. And unless that energy is nurtured and maintained and replenished, then you are not only in for a rough ride, but you run the risk of fatigue.
Welcome to the Master Dealmaker's Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 221. And today we're going to be talking about the anti-burnout guide for salespeople. So I'm going to give you 5 practical strategies that you can use to stay motivated and avoid sales fatigue. But before we do that, if you have got leads that you've spoken to that haven't converted yet, I've got a particularly valuable resource for you. It is over at johnblakeaudio.com. What you'll get there is my 15-minute audio that walks you through the strategy that I install in my clients' businesses that you can use to convert all the people that you've spoken to that haven't bought yet. So how to actually continue the conversation with them in a professional way, in a proactive way, and in a way that doesn't upset people. So it's over at johnblakeaudio.com. Go grab it. It also comes with a PDF download that you can use where you can effectively cut and paste my word-for-word scripts, what to say on the phone, what to write in your emails over a 90-day period. I guarantee when you put this into practice, you will convert more of those people that you've spoken to but haven't bought yet. So it is over at johnblakeaudio.com. Go grab it, put it into action, and let me know how it goes. Okay, so we're going to talk about 5 practical strategies to stay motivated and avoid sales fatigue. Now, I just did a little bit of research, and what I've discovered is that there's a bunch of data on burnout just in Australia. But if we look at the sales role in particular, it takes energy. It takes energy, and it involves rejection and disappointment. And unless that energy is nurtured and maintained and replenished, then you are not only in for a rough ride, but you run the risk of fatigue. And often salespeople they tend to be wired in a different way. And as such, they tend to, in some cases, not in all cases, there tends to be a bit of an emotional roller coaster, where one day you'll be flying high, and the next minute, you'll be sort of not so high. So there tends to be these troughs of success and sales ruts and all sorts of stuff. So the data that I wanted to share with you, so this was just a really quick look at some market data around stress, work-related stress and burnout. Approximately 60% of employees felt negative impacts from work-related stress, including reduced interest, motivation, and energy. 26% were lower work effort, 19% cognitive weariness, 36% emotional exhaustion, 32%, and a significant 38% increase in physical fatigue, affecting 44% since 2019. But so there's a bunch of different things specifically in there that we've outlined, but the big rock there is that 60% of employees felt negative impacts from work-related stress. In terms of how it affects employee engagement and turnover, burned out employees are 63% more likely to take a sick day and 2.6 times as likely to be actively seeking a different job. Employees who often experience burnout are 2.6 times more likely to be actively looking for a new role elsewhere. Burnout as a reason for quitting, 40% of employees identified burnout as a primary reason for quitting. 28% of responses were so dissatisfied that they resigned without securing a new job. So these data reveal a really big issue around burnout. 80% of employees reported occasional work-related stress. 60% of absenteeism was linked to stress in some manner. And 36% of employees said their organisation isn't doing anything to help with employee burnout. So So it looks like in most cases, we are going to have to do something about this ourselves. So how do we do that? Well, I've got 5 tips that I think will be really useful. The first one might sound a little bit glib, perhaps even a little bit flippant, but it is, I will qualify it and I'll follow it up with some other things that I think will make it make more sense. So the first one is be unattached to the outcome, right? Be unattached to the outcome. So there's a particular saying that I like the sound of, that I've listened to, that I've used, that I've heard myself saying over and over again. And it's this: some will, some won't, so what? And what that means is that some of the people that you talk to are going to buy. Some of the people that you talk to are not going to buy. And some of the people, are just probably never going to do anything, and they might sort of stick around in your ecosystem, in your follow-up column for a long time, and they won't do anything either. But the last part is, so what? So some people will, some people won't, but at the end of the day, you actually don't have control over who buys and who doesn't. You only have control over your own behavior and how you respond to your clients during your interactions with them. You don't have any control over whether they buy or not. All you can do is use best practice in terms of a process that is going to result in the highest number of people buying. But what we know is that roughly only 25% of people are going to buy. So what does that mean? That means that 75% of people don't buy. And 25% would be an average conversion rate. So with the clients I work with, an average conversion rate might be 40 or 50. So that means that 50% of the people that you talk to are not going to buy. And you don't really know which 50% of those are. I mean, a lot of the work I do with clients is we help them to actually disqualify clients at the front end, so that we're not chasing people who were never going to buy in the first place. But the fact remains is that the same, if not more people, are not going to buy than are going to buy. So the point remains is that you need to be unattached to the outcome. And as I said, that is easier said than done. But the point number 2, which I'm about to share with you, makes that easier. And that is, have more opportunities than you need. And so my favorite way of describing this is that if you've got a list of 5 people that you want to work with, and you talk to the first one and they say they're not interested, and you talk to the second one and they say they're not interested, and you talk to the third one and they don't buy, and you talk to the fourth one and they don't buy, well, you've only got 5 people on your list and you're just about to talk to person number 5 on your list. How are you feeling, right? You're not feeling particularly good. However, if you've got 500 people on that list and you get down to person number 4 and they say that they're not interested, how are you feeling now? You're feeling a lot better. You're like, okay, next. So the idea is to have more opportunities than you need. It's easier and better to have a list of 500 or 100 or even 50 compared to 5. So have more opportunities than you think that you will need. And part of that is building a lead machine. So you can build a lead machine that can make the most of your existing list of buyers, people that have inquired but haven't bought yet. So there's a whole bunch of different frameworks and tools and strategies in my program to maximize all of the people that have inquired, that are in your ecosystem, the people that have bought, the people that might not be currently active. There's a whole bunch of opportunity just to create a lead machine with your existing ecosystem of buyers, inquirers, and existing clients. So have more opportunities than you need. The first one, be unattached to the outcome. The third one, get enough sleep, right? So sleep, the more studies that are done on sleep, the more it has become important. The more study, the more research that they do on sleep, the more it becomes important. So get enough sleep. You need to protect your well-being. You need to protect your energy. you need to replenish your energy. You need to have a way that you can show up with the right amount of energy, because if you don't have the right amount of energy and you burn the candle at both ends, which is point number 4, don't burn the candle at both ends. So what does burning the candle at both ends look like? It looks like staying out late at night. It looks like drinking. It looks like not getting enough sleep. It looks like perhaps even training while you're going out. And in some cases, you might go, okay, well, that's just about maximizing my time on earth. But I can tell you this, as somebody who, when I first started my professional career, didn't know where my off switch was, right? So I was out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, drinking and having late nights. And I was also training with the Western Australian state water polo team. I wasn't in the West Australian state water polo team. I was playing water polo, but not at a state level at that point anyway. But I was training with these guys Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I think I was playing Saturday. So, I was really pushing my body. I was training really hard, and I was surfing, and I was going out a lot, and I didn't know what my off switch was, but my body showed it to me. And not long after that, I got glandular fever, and I got really crook with it. So, especially if you're, in your 30s or your 40s, you need to protect your energy. If you don't, people will sense it. If you're in a sales role, so sales is all about energy. It's all about a transference of energy. It's about your enthusiasm rubbing off other people. They buy you before they buy what it is that you have to sell. Your certainty will overcome their doubt. It's difficult to be assertive. It's difficult to have certainty, and it's difficult to have enthusiasm if you're exhausted. So you need to protect your energy. One of the best ways to do that is to control the nights that you go out. Make sure that you get enough sleep. Make sure that you limit your alcohol if you possibly can. And people, if you don't do that, will sense it, especially women. Women are more perceptive than men, and they pick up even the most subtle changes in energy. So just to recap, be unattached to the outcome is point number 1. Number 2, have more opportunities than you think that you'll need. A list of 500 or 100 or 50 is better than a list of 5. Build a lead machine to maximize those opportunities. Get enough sleep, and don't burn the candle at both ends. Point number 5 is get exercise. So have a way to set yourself up physically and mentally for each day. So as an example, I know that on the mornings that I swim a couple of Ks, I'm a lot more effective on the phone. I'm a lot sharper if I've got to run a workshop. So I will go surfing, or I will train on those days if I can, to set myself up to have the right energy to work with clients. Another way that you can do that is read positive books or motivational YouTube videos, right? If you put the right stuff in, you'll get the right stuff out. So that's 5 ways that you can avoid burnout. I guess a 6th one, a bonus one, is that if you are really struggling, go and see someone. Go and talk to a psych. And there might seem like there's some stigma around that, but why should there be? If going to get a massage is a part of maintaining your body, what are you doing to maintain your mind and your disposition and your mental health? Going and talking to somebody can be like getting a massage and getting something off your mind that might be rattling around in there with someone who's independent can be really, really powerful. So that would be my bonus one. But I hope this has been useful for you, and I would always thank you for listening, and I will talk to you on the next podcast. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies and maximize your sales process with new episodes every other week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive, free, no fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.